Hello friends, welcome back or welcome if you are new here. My name is Charlie and today I have a yoga flow to help you set an intention for 2023. This class is all about getting you back into a healthy routine after the Christmas break, leaving behind the things that no longer serve you and setting the tone for the kind of year that you'd like to have. When you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. Let's begin in child's pose. So you have the option to keep the knees together or to open them wide if you prefer. And take your time as you lower yourself down to the mat. And we'll start with a few moments of stillness to arrive and take the time to check in. And start by noticing the breath. And take a quick scan of your body from head to toes, noticing what feels good, what doesn't, and where needs your attention today. And bringing your attention to the mind, noticing what thoughts are coming up. What's occupying your mind right now? And then without judgment, simply let go of those thoughts. Come back to your body, back to the breath, back to the mat. Throughout today's class, I encourage you to continue doing this. Whenever the mind wanders, you start reflecting on something that happened this past year. Keep coming back to your body, your breath, and the mat. As we settle into our practice, you have the option to set an intent. It could be your intent for practicing today, or it could be your intent for the rest of the year. Something that you want to cultivate right now to take with you into 2023. Take the next few breaths to get clear on your intention. Starting to deepen the breath as you do. And inviting a little bit of movement into the body now. Start to reach the arms as far forwards as you can, so you feel that length from your fingertips down to your tailbone. As you do this, send your hips down to your heels, lengthening the spine. Holding this here for a deep breath in. And a long sigh out. 2 more breaths like this. Inhale, take in what you need. Exhale, let go of what you don't. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come up into tabletop, all fours. Then coming up onto your fingertips, you're creating tents with both hands. Start by rolling the shoulders back and then dipping the belly down to arch the spine. Inhale here. Exhale, start to bend your elbows and lower your chest down to the mat. Inhale, start to round the lower back and then push the floor away. Exhale, arch the spine. Bend your elbows. Inhale, you lower down. Exhale, rounding the lower back, pushing the floor away. 1 breath at a time. Inhale, arch the spine. Bend the elbows, lower the chest. And then rounding from the lower back as you ripple and push all the way up. Continue moving in this way, just finding your flow, articulating the spine. And then coming back into tabletop, planting the hands. Bring your right hand to your temple or your ear, and then just start to draw circles with the right elbow. So opening up to the sky and then drawing down to the mat. A great way to mobilize the shoulders, bring some movement into the thoracic spine. After a few times in one direction, switch directions. And then the next time your elbow lifts up to the sky, hold this here and reach your arm up, reaching through your fingertips. Inhale here. As you exhale, thread the right arm through the left, come down into your thread the needle. Just taking a few breaths here, relaxing into the mat. And then coming back into tabletop. Left hand comes to the temple or ear this time, and then drawing circles again with the elbow. Big, generous circles. Really getting into any of those areas of the shoulder that feel tight or a little stuck. Switching directions. And then the next time your elbow lifts up to the sky, extend the arm, reach through the fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, left arm threads under right, come down to your thread the needle. Settle in a few breaths, just letting everything go. Finding that balance between effort and ease. Then coming back into tabletop now. Extend the right leg back, keeping the toes on the mat. Then extend the left leg across your body out to the right. Start to rock forwards and backwards. You're looking to press both feet into the mat, so you want to feel a stretch on the outside of the left leg, on the back of the right leg. Hold this here. Reach your right arm up and spin open into fallen star. Pushing the floor away, lift your hips. Inhale. As you exhale, sit the hips down and flex your feet. Bring your hands in between your legs. And we're just going for a gentle straddle to begin. So you can start to bring the chest forwards, keeping that length through the spine. Feet are flexed. Perhaps you start to find your ujjayi breath now, so that oceanic sounding breath. With each breath, you may find the body responds and you can go a little further. Good. Plant the left hand back where it was. Inhale to lift the hips. Right hand comes down. Step the left leg back. Then crossing right leg out to the left side, start to rock forwards and backwards. This time we're stretching down the outside of the right leg and down the back of the left leg. Then find stillness, spin open to your left. Left arm reaches up for fallen star. Push the floor away as you inhale. Exhale, the hips sit down. Coming back to your straddle, maybe this time the legs can go a little wider. Keep your feet flexed. And then finding your ujjayi, slowly coming into the pose. No need to force anything. Just let the pose gradually evolve. Just like 2023 will. You don't have to go into it 110%. You can give yourself time. Right hand plants back where it was. Inhale to pick up the hips. Left hand comes down and step back to plank. Holding your plank here, start to rock side to side. Forwards and backwards. And then finding where stillness is, shoulders stack over the wrists. This time start to bend one leg at a time, so you're just walking out your plank. Sending one heel down to the mat at a time as you alternate. Creaky floorboards. And then eventually pushing all the way back into downward facing dog. You can continue pedaling out the legs, or if you're ready, you could just find stillness here. Find what feels good. Coming back to your ujjayi. Setting that balanced tone for your practice. Looking forwards, right foot will step forwards. Inhale, arms will come up. Interlace your fingers and then flip your palms and start to draw the arms back, coming into a little back bend here. It doesn't have to be too dramatic as we're just starting off our practice. Start to twist to your right, open your arms out. The right arm will reach back, the left arm will reach up for your reverse high lunge. Keep pressing through the back foot. Reach through your left fingertips. With your exhale, left hand will come down to the mat. Right arm will reach up to twist. Reaching through the right fingertips. Keep the back knee lifted. Inhale here. Exhale, right foot will step back to come into side plank. Pushing the floor away. Hold for a breath. Exhale, come back to plank and move through your vinyasa at the pace of your breath. Exhale to come back to downward facing. And then moving through the same sequence on the left side. So left foot will step forwards, right arm will come, both arms will come up. Inhale, interlace your fingers and flip your palms. Start to draw the arms back for that nice back bend. Then twisting to the left, open the arms wide. Left arm will come back, right arm will reach up. Your reverse high lunge. Reaching through the right fingertips as you inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Left arm will reach up to come to the twist. Reaching through the fingertips here. Keep the back knee lifted. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps back to come to side plank. Hold for a breath. At the end of your exhale, come back to plank and move through your vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing. And taking the next 5 breaths to settle in here. You could find movement or you could opt for stillness. With the next inhale, lift the right leg high, keeping the hips square, reaching through the tips of your toes. Exhale to step the foot in between the hands, arms come up for high lunge. Exhale, twist to the right, open the arms wide, reaching through your fingertips, lifting from the crown of your head so you're not sinking into your posture, you're standing strong. With your next exhale, the left hand will come down to the mat ahead of your front foot. The back leg will lift, coming into your reverse half moon or revolved half moon. Keep the back leg raised. All of your limbs are long and strong. Hold for a breath in. Exhale, lower the back foot down. Spin the front foot to the right. Sink the left side hip down for twisted lizard. Push the floor away as you hold this here. And then stepping back into plank. Move through your vinyasa at the pace of your breath. Coming back into downward facing. On your inhale, the left leg will lift. Hips stay square, reach through your toe tips. Exhale, step forwards, arms up for a high lunge. And twisting to your left, opening the arms wide. Again, finding that reach through both arms. Lifting from the crown of your head. With your exhale, right hand plants forwards. Back leg lifts for your revolved half moon. Strong limbs here, find your balance. With your exhale, lower the back foot, turn the front foot to face left as you sink the right hip down for twisted lizard. A very elegant posture here. Push the floor away, reach through your left arm. And with your exhale, coming back into plank, moving through your vinyasa. Exhale to downward facing. Settle in here, 5 steady breaths. Coming back to that place of ease and balance. Step your feet together. Inhale to lift the left leg high. Again, keeping the hips square, reaching through your toe tips. As you exhale, left foot will step forwards to come into pyramid. Both heels ground, both legs are straight. Then keeping the left hip drawing back, right hip drawing forwards to square the hips. You can opt to fold forwards or just keep the chest level with the mat. Coming back to your ujjayi, finding that steady inhale and exhale. And if the hands are on the mat, draw the arms back, shift weight into the front foot and lift the back leg for warrior 3. Perhaps pointing your toes, finding your inner dancer here, extending through the back leg. Inhale, keep the back leg raised as you cross it over the top of your front. Sit the hips down to come to eagle, wrapping right arm over left. Exhale to release, step the top leg back to come to warrior 2. Relaxing the shoulders down, sinking the hips. And flipping the front palm, reaching up and leaning back. With your exhale, left arm comes by, right arm reaches overhead for your extended side angle. Spiraling the chest open, deep breath in. Exhale out. Come back up to warrior 2. Then drawing the hands behind the back, hands can clasp together. Draw the hands down towards the low back as you hinge from the hips and fold forwards. Crown of the head goes down towards the mat here. Relaxing into position, using the strength of your legs to find that steady foundation. Inhale to lift back up. Plant the hands, step back to plank, and move through your vinyasa.
This time the right leg will lift, keeping the hips square, reaching through the toes. Exhale to step the foot forwards, coming back into your pyramid. This time the right hip will draw back, the left hip will draw forwards to square the hips. And you could fold, or you could just keep the chest level. Savoring these moments of stillness. And then drawing your arms back, shifting your weight forwards, lifting the back leg for warrior three. Doesn't have to be a perfect warrior three. Find whatever balance you can. And then we'll transition into eagle, so bringing the back leg forwards, crossing it over the top of the right, sitting the hips down. This time left arm will wrap over the top of the right. As you release, open the arms, step the top leg back for warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders, sinking the hips down. Flip your front palm, reach up and lean back. And with your exhale, right arm comes to the leg, left arm reaches overhead. Extended side angle. Spiraling the chest open here, hold for an inhale. And exhale. Come back to warrior two. Hands will clasp behind the back. Draw the hands down past the lower back and hinge your hips. Fold forwards in between the legs. Crown of the head goes down to the mat. Find a moment of stillness here. Inhale to come back up. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa. Going at the pace of your own breath. When you arrive in downward dog, ground through your hands, ground through your heels. Take a deep breath in. And a long exhale out. And hopping, stepping, or jumping the feet to the hands to come to forward fold. In your forward fold, you have the option to catch the backs of the ankles, or you could bring the hands underneath the feet. Bringing the toe tips right up against the wrists. And letting the upper body hang heavy, relaxing chin to chest. Release the hands if they're under the feet. Inhale, lift the back halfway. Bring your feet together, big toes to touch, then bend your knees, come up onto your toes for toe stand. Open the knees wide. Then you can use your hands for a little bit of stability here as you rock the knees side to side, looking to get some movement into the groin, a little stretch for the inner thighs. If the balance is there, you could also bring the hands to the inner thighs or inner knees, keeping the chest nice and low as you go side to side. And then planting the hands on the mat, bring the knees in towards the backs of your arms. Shift your weight forwards, getting ready for crow or crane. And then slowly lifting the feet to find your arm balance. Steady your breath here. Lower the feet, and you can come back to a forward fold or take ragdoll if you like. Swaying side to side, releasing any tension. Slowly roll up into a standing position. And then stepping out wide to come to a straddle. You can hinge from your hips, fold forwards here. Just take a few moments, rock forwards and backwards, towards the toes, back to the heels. And walk your hands over to your right foot. Keep the left hand planted. Reach your right arm up to twist. We're looking to feel a deep stretch down the inside of the left thigh here. If you'd like to go further, start to bend the right knee. Sink your hips down towards your heel. You could even come down onto the left forearm to go even deeper. Keep the bend in the right knee if you're there. If you aren't, start to bend the knee. Then bring both hands down to the mat. So you're coming out of the twist slightly. Turn your left foot so toes point up, and you're coming into Skandasana here. So sinking the hips to the right heel. You could use the hands for stability or bring hands into prayer. And then just slowly starting to sit the hips down. Nice and slow. Left hand will come to the right ankle. Right arm will reach up here. Try to lengthen as much of the right side as you can with an inhale. And on your exhale, bend to the left. Right hand will reach for the leg or maybe even the toes. Continue to spiral the chest open. Find your breath. Slowly release, sitting all the way back up. Coming back into your Skandasana, so shift your weight forwards. And then lower the left foot down, come back to your straddle. You may just want to take a few moments here, again rocking forwards and backwards to reset. Then bringing the right hand to the left foot. Left arm will reach up to twist. You could keep both legs straight. Or you could start to bend the left leg to go deeper, maybe coming down onto the right forearm to go deeper still. Sending the hips towards the left heel if you're bending the knee, feeling for that stretch down the inside of the right thigh. Bringing the hands to the mat, coming out of the twist slightly, flipping the right foot so toes point up to come to Skandasana. Take a few breaths here while you slowly sit the hips down. The right hand will catch the left ankle, the left arm will reach up, lengthen the left side, and as you exhale, bend to the right. Left hand will reach for the toes or anywhere along the leg. Focus on keeping the chest open, prioritizing your breath. Slowly release, coming back up. Shift your weight forwards to come back to Skandasana, and then come back into your straddle. Option to come down onto the forearms here to go deeper. If you are ready for an inversion, then create a platform with your arms and your hands. Rest your head on the mat and come up into your headstand. You can play around with any variation here. Find what feels good. And then when you're ready, coming back into a straddle. Lifting the head, lifting the chest. Inhale. Walk your hands to the left foot, step back to downward facing dog. And if the hips are feeling a little sensitive, pedal out the legs. Take a moment to reset. And setting your feet wide in downward facing dog, lower the left forearm down to the mat. And start to twist and look under your right arm. The hips may sway to the right, and that's okay. Keep pressing through the left forearm as you hold this. And lifting the left arm back up, right forearm will come down. Now hips will swing to the left side, gazing under the left arm, pressing through the right forearm. Right arm will lift. Bring the feet in hips width. Then lower the left forearm down to the mat. You have the option to stay here. If you'd like to make it a little harder for yourself, you could lift the right leg. So balancing both sides of the body here. Pressing through left forearm, right hand, and left heel. Lower the right foot, lift the left arm, then the right forearm will come down. And if you're opting for level 2, lift the left leg up. Good. Keep pressing the floor away as you hold. And lower the left foot down, lift the right arm back up. Last one of these, so coming down onto both forearms now, coming into dolphin. 5 steady breaths here to finish this sequence. Keep pushing the floor away. Relax your head and neck. Amazing. Lift the elbows. Walk your hands forwards. Come down into tabletop. Then keeping your hips over your knees as you walk your arms forwards, sink the chest down to come to puppy pose. And this should feel like a relief after all of those dolphins. Let your heart hang heavy here as this posture soothes your shoulders. As we find stillness, just pay attention to the mind. Notice what comes up and what doesn't, without judgment, without creating a story or attaching to anything. Just let it go. Coming back to your body, back to your breath, back to the mat. Lift your chest and ripple yourself forwards to come into cobra. Setting the hands up either side of the rib cage. And without pressing your hands into the mat, use the strength in your back to lift your chest. At the same time, flex your feet and then curl your heels in towards your glutes. So strengthening the hamstrings here and the posterior chain. Without using your hands, keep lifting the chest. If it's too tempting to use them, you could always reach them back so the temptation is gone. Option to stay here, option to reach for the ankles and come into bow. Deep breaths here. Press your heels into your hands if you're in bow. Final breath here. With your exhale, release, come back to your cobra. Then push up into tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, come back to downward facing dog. Setting the feet hips width here. Steady your breath. Press through your hands to lengthen and decompress the spine. Step your feet together, then cross the left leg over the top of the right, keeping both feet on the mat. Start to spin on the balls of your feet, turning to the right. Bend your knees as you continue spinning. Reach the right arm overhead to come to reverse tabletop. Pushing the floor away here, lifting the hips, lifting the heart. As you exhale, spin back to downward facing dog. Cross the right leg over the left. This time you're spinning to the left as you bend your knees. Left arm reaches overhead for reverse tabletop. Push the floor away for a breath. And with your exhale, come back to downward dog. Once more to each side. So left leg crosses over the top of the right. Spinning to the right to come to reverse tabletop. And back to downward facing dog. Right leg will cross over left. Spinning to the left for reverse tabletop. And then this time you'll sit the hips down instead of spinning back to downward dog. Sit all the way down on your mat. So knees are bent in front of you. Place the hands behind you for support. You can just knock the knees from side to side. And lift your knees up, bring the right leg across the front of you, and then the left leg will stack on top. So both legs are stacking like firelocks. If your knee is up here, that's totally fine. This pose is going to look very different in everybody's body. So if your knee is up here, you may find that just opting for the seated position is enough. If the knee is lower down, you may find that you can walk the arms forwards to come into a fold. Find where works for you. And I invite you to close your eyes here, to come to that place of stillness within, calling back in your intent for this practice, or maybe even this year. Inhale to sit back up, and we'll switch the legs. So the left leg is on the bottom this time. The right leg is on the top. This side may be very different to the previous one, so take a moment just to see what you need. If you're coming into the fold, walk the hands forwards. Close your eyes, settle back into that state of calm that you've cultivated. Perhaps using this time to reflect. And inhale to sit back up. Extend your legs in front. Reach your arms up for an inhale. As you exhale, we'll fold all the way forwards. No need to force it. Just let the pose gradually evolve with each breath. Come and lie down on your back. And hug your knees into your chest. Take a gentle rock side to side, massaging the lower back, the mid back, maybe even the upper back. And keeping the right knee hugged in, extend the left leg down to the mat. Cross the knee across the body to the left side to come into a spinal twist. If it feels okay for the head and neck, turn your head to the right to gaze over your right shoulder. An option to close the eyes here. Release the twist. Let your right leg go down to the mat. Then hug the left knee into the chest and across the body to the right side. If it feels okay for your head and neck, turn your head to the left and settle back into stillness. twist. And then find your Shavasana or any other restorative posture you'd like to close this practice with. Bring your attention back to your space, back to my voice. Slowly hug your knees into your chest. And roll onto one side. Taking a few moments here to adjust, just to feel the space beneath you, supporting you. This space that you can always come back to whenever you need to feel supported. When you're ready, make your way into a seated position. Just keeping the eyes closed for now. Resting hands on knees, sitting up nice and tall. And we'll close today's practice with a few moments of meditation, just to reflect, to let go, to solidify our intent for the next 12 months. Let's start by coming back to your breath. Just noticing the body, noticing how it feels. And then bringing your attention to any thoughts, stories, or feelings that may be coming up. This might be a time to reflect on why they keep coming up. Once you've reached a conclusion, you can let those go. Come back to your breath, back to this place of stillness. You might need to repeat that process a few times.
till you find more mental stillness. And with that stillness, come back to your intention for this class or for the year. Hold it in your mind just for the next few moments. Start to lower your chin towards your chest. And we'll close with a final deep inhale and a smooth exhale. When you're ready, flick your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me for class. I hope that it's allowed you to create space, to reflect, to let go, and to set an intent for what you want this year. Thank you again for your time. Have an amazing 2023. Namaste.